For some families, surrogacy is the only option when it comes to having children. Here with a success story is Holly Wise, mother to sweet little Garrett, and Renee Gruey, Holly's best friend and surrogate. Ladies, thank you so much for joining us today.
Hey.
How old is Garrett now?
He will be 8 months on Thursday.
8 months. Oh my goodness. Now, Holly, why did you choose surrogacy?
So I did not choose surrogacy. It chose us, for sure. We hadn't even thought about it. I was born with 9 birth defects that pretty much I wasn't able to have kids. If I did, I would not be able to carry a baby to term and be able to make it. So
what did that news do to you? If you can tell us, I don't mean to interrupt you here, but I'm just curious, for someone who wants to have children, to hear those words from their doctor, how did you feel?
It was devastating. I think part of me always knew that there would be issues growing up the way that I did in and out of hospitals, but I didn't think it would just not be able to happen. So when we got that news, I was more than willing to put my life on the line to do it. My husband was the one that said, I'd rather have you here and be happy just the two of us.
Had you tried or explored other methods before surrogacy found you, as you put it?
Definitely. We had thought about surrogacy, but we personally did not want to go through an agency. So we kind of shut that door. And then we talked about adoption. We kind of started the adoption process. And during the adoption process is when this one reached out to me, and our whole lives changed.
Well, I want to talk to you, Renee. Can you tell us why you decided to come forward and to offer being the surrogate for your best friend?
I knew that they were having problems, and it's just something that I felt like I could do and do easily. It was, for the most part, pretty emotionally and physically easy for me. So I don't know, it just felt like the right thing to do.
Did you ever have any hesitancy about either helping Holly out in this way, or did you ever feel at some point that you had a connection to this child that you felt that you wouldn't have wanted to give him up?
No, not ever, not once. From the very beginning, I think I knew that he wasn't my baby, and biology is very strange. It has a way of preparing you to, I guess, not want to keep this child. If anything, he's like a nephew.
That is so interesting. And you speak of biology, and maybe Holly, you can give us some of the specifics if you could, because I know there's different types of surrogacy. So what type was this particular instance?
She was actually our gestational carrier. So the embryo that we used was mine and my husband's.
Oh, I see.
So he is biologically both of ours.
Okay. Was that a comfort to you? Would you have felt any differently had it been your friend's egg, had it been Renee's egg and your husband's sperm? Was that ever even a thought?
That actually is something that my husband and I talked about before Renee was ever even in our lives, that if we were to ever do a surrogacy, it was either going to be all ours biologically or none at all. So that's why it was either, we were going to do this or we were wanted to pursue adoption.
Can you give our viewers, anybody who's interested in pursuing surrogacy as an option for childbearing, any advice, anything that they can mentally prepare themselves for as they proceed with this process?
My personal advice would be to grow that connection with your gestational carrier. I love the fact that we were friends and had a connection before, and I think it really, really aided us in that. But trust is such a key, so important, and communication. Pretty much the same thing, almost like with a marriage or relationship, because that is what we had for 18 months, was a relationship with each other. Our husbands played a huge role as well, but it was me and Renee in the thick of it together. And that's why she's family. She will always be family, but definitely trust and communication. because, there would be times I know that I bombarded her, like, oh my gosh, how are you feeling today? And that was another thing. I was just as worried about her as I was about the baby. It wasn't just, okay, she's an incubator carrying my child. I was just as worried about her and my friend as I was about him.
It's amazing. And like you said, she's family now. So the friendship is so deep that it's almost profound. There are almost no words to describe it. Ladies, I want to thank you so much for sharing your story with us. And we would love to get a peek at Garrett.
Oh my gosh, yes.
Oh, there he is.
He's like, oh, that's my nene.
Oh, what a precious boy. Oh my goodness. And when you put him on your lap, your face, it just completely lights up. You're a completely different person. Well, Garrett, he is a handsome boy. Well, coming up next, we're going to be speaking with your doctor, Dr. John Schnorr of the Coastal Fertility Specialist. He's going to be telling us a little bit more about how surrogacy works. We'll be back after this. We just heard the happy beginning of a young family thanks to surrogacy. While theirs was using the help of a friend, there are different avenues when exploring surrogacy. We're joined by Dr. John Schnorr, fertility expert and co-founder of Coastal Fertility Specialist. It's good to see you, doctor.
Thank you. It's good to see you guys. Thanks for letting me be here.
Absolutely. And you facilitated all of this. You made Holly and her husband's dream possible in having Garrett.
It was a lot of fun. I love doing it. They are an absolutely wonderful couple, and anything we can do to help them make the world a better place through somebody like Garrett is just wonderful.
And you know what? It's pretty remarkable because you're seeing Garrett for the first time. So I want to know, from a doctor's point of view, what is it like seeing the fruit of everyone's labor?
It's just a miracle to see one cell, one egg, one sperm become multiple cells, become a beautiful, healthy boy like Garrett. It's just amazing to me every time I do it. And I've been doing this for 20 years now, but it's still a miracle every time that I see it. And I'm just so grateful that he's here.
I know. And when Holly and her husband first came to see you, did they have any concerns, or what were some of the things that you wanted to prepare them for, and for other families out there who are considering surrogacy?
Well, it's pretty daunting when you have a significant medical problem like Holly had, and thankfully Renee was around to help. And being able to trust somebody to carry your baby and nurture your baby and take care of your baby before birth, it's a lot of challenges, and you got to find a very special person like Renee was to be able to do that. We do have a lot of people that we see who just can't carry babies due to uterine problems and heart problems and lung problems, and gestational carriers are a solution for that. And the message I want to send to everybody is, if there's a will, there's a way. We can fix any type of infertility that exists. Sometimes we've got to get creative, and this is a great example of what being creative is, but it also shows that creative can work and work well.
Absolutely. And out of curiosity, do you have people who come forward to your clinic who say, if you have anyone who needs to have a child, I'm interested in becoming a surrogate? Is that how you find people, or how do you locate? I mean, in Holly's case, she was lucky to have Renee, but not everybody has that relationship.
There are agencies who help to align people who want to be gestational carriers with those who need them. More commonly, it's through friends and family, where you as a patient just talk openly about what's needed and see if people will help you. And there are some people who volunteer up front who just feel they like being pregnant, they feel good being pregnant, and they want to make the world a better place by helping somebody else out. So it's a whole combination of different things.
If it's too uncertain that you're able to actually carry the child, whether it's due to age or what have you,
right.
And you're kind of, it's a little bit of a toss-up. What should one consider? Should they really go the route of surrogacy, or should they?
I think it's a great question. I think people who can't carry a baby have a choice of either adopting a child or doing a gestational carrier cycle. And a gestational carrier cycle, of course, gives the wife the chance to be a genetic partner and also the husband. And it actually works out very well. And the cost is about the same as adopting a child. And so it's a wonderful option that's available for people. Some people choose adoption because it helps somebody who needs to be adopted, and some choose gestational carrier for other reasons. So we love having it as an option for people.
One last question. This is for Ray and for Holly. Would you ever do this again?
That's a loaded question. I think I'm personally done because of my age. As far as Holly doing it again? I don't know.
I don't know if I could do it with someone that's not her. And I couldn't, so most likely not, but
No.
no, we're not putting it off the table for
But
us.
I think Garrett is plenty. Well, Holly, Renee, Dr. Schnorr, Garrett, I want to thank you all for joining us and sharing your uplifting and inspiring story.
It
Congratulations.
was fun.
Again.
Thank you for having us.
We're back after this.